Omer Ranger 004 Productions have proudly presented fan-edited clips for years. This is my new channel Comics by Omer Ranger 004, where I can work on explaining comics. Lord Zedd is without a doubt one of the most terrifying villains in all of Power Rangers. Well, at least at first, in my opinion, he is one of the few franchise villains that genuinely looks like an extremely evil alien conqueror, not just some guy in a silly rubber suit. I believe that he is inspired by Darth Vader because of the way he was introduced, and he has elements of the He-Man villain Skeletor in him. Just think, both have a staff that powers them. He became the main antagonist of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from Season 2 onwards, and also featured in 2 of the next 3 seasons, Zeo and In Space. While many of you may know his ultimate fate, many of you may not, so after covering a brief history of his life, I will talk about what happened to Lord Zedd after his stint as the Rangers' main enemy. Lord Zedd is essentially the lord of all things evil. He had originally looked more human, but at one point he tried to get his hands on the Zeo crystal, deforming his skin and given him the look that we most commonly know him for. Zedd was conquering the various planets across the universe before moving on Zordon and Eltar. 10,000 years ago, Zedd, clothed in a cloak to disguise his deformed body, summoned the monkey monster Silverback and his brother Galdar to join Rita Repulsa and her ragtag member of space aliens to attack planet Earth. Silverback, already dissatisfied with Zedd because he was using his race, who he personally considered to be Zedd's elite warriors, for what was basically grunt work, he decided to portray Zedd and take the power for himself. However, Zedd ripped off his cloak and mortally wounded Silverback with a massive energy blast and forced Galdar to kill his own brother or meet the same fate. Once Galdar swore his loyalty to serve him alone, Zedd sent him to Earth to join Rita because he did not think Earth was important enough to warrant his attention to him. It was just a stepping stone, a base to conquer within the solar system. He left Rita Repulsa to conquer it while he pursued conquests of other systems, leaving a ragtag group of minions behind to help her. It was later mentioned by Rita that Zedd also tried to take the Zeo crystal for himself in the ancient past, but because the crystal was protected by a force field which damages the forces of evil, the attempt caused his skin to burn off, which gave him the flayed and grotesque appearance that he is widely known for. A year after Rita was released from Zordon's dumpster, Lord Zedd arrived on the moon, conjuring a storm over the Moon Palace, which made Galdar realize who was coming and absolutely horrifying Rita. Lord Zedd soon appeared above the palace in the clouds before berating Rita for being utterly useless before shooting lightning at them. After declaring that he was going to take command, Zedd went into the throne room where Rita and her thugs went to greet him. Galdar arrived first and went to meet him in the throne room and was terrified by Zedd's snake, which then turned into his staff. Despite not initially recognizing Galdar, Zedd remembered him as the cowardly minion and returned the wings that he once took away thousands of years ago. When he realized that his cowardly nature would make him a good follower, Zedd then immediately spied on the Power Rangers, only for Rita to enter and beg for forgiveness and another chance, but Zedd gave her a dressing down because she was, and I quote, not fit to destroy a cockroach. After watching the Power Rangers get called to the command center, Zedd realized that Zordon was still alive. Galdar suggested sending putties to destroy the Rangers. Zedd got a good laugh out of that as he showed off his new putty patrollers, despite her pleading with him, even kissing his feet. Lord Zedd punished Rita by stripping her of her powers and vaporizing her wand. He then shrunk her down and imprisoned her within a space dumpster pretty much identical to the one Zordon had trapped her in. He then let his putties hurl her into the depths of space. He then mutated a piranha from the lake into a monstrous parentis head who assumed command of the Tyrannosaurus Dinosaur and Dragonzord. The Rangers barely survived the attack from this monster, but they eventually managed to regain control of their Zords. Furious at this, Lord Zedd attempted to destroy the 5 dinosaurs. only for the Rangers to turn the tables and transform the remains of these Zords into more powerful Thunderzords. The Thunder Megazord then destroys Paranth's head, which led Zedd to decide to stay on Earth to try and defeat the Rangers, leading to his many following schemes. Zedd had many almost successful attempts at destroying the Rangers. He even came up with a scheme that eventually led to Tommy permanently losing his Green Ranger powers. However, over time Lord Zedd discovered that the Rangers were no pushovers, and each of his monsters failed to defeat them with the Thunderzords and the new White Power Ranger at their side. The Power Rangers seemed almost indestructible. He soon unearthed the gigantic war machine known as Serpentera. This was so large that it could crush the range of Zords with ease. However, it had a flaw: it used up energy so fast that it could only be used for short periods of time. Before long, Zedd had to undergo what he calls his centennial recharge, where he must essentially shut off and restore his evil energies. But during his sleep, Rita Repulsa returned to the palace plot. In revenge, she poured a love potion created by Finster into the centennial recharge machine, and when Zedd awoke, he instantly fell in love with Rita, proposing to her. However, the love potion did not work as Rita had intended. She planned on manipulating him, but Zedd was strong enough to resist, but not completely. He became less serious on defeating the Rangers and more focused on his love and his life with Rita. With Zedd and Rita now working side by side, the Rangers' battles became more difficult than ever. Zedd and Rita's schemes together included creating a clone of evil Tommy and sending the Rangers back into the past. The love potion was eventually removed from Zedd, but to everyone's surprise, he still loved Rita, as he had actually fallen in love with her naturally. What a sweet love story. Then, when Master Vile arrived on the moon, Lord Zedd was pushed to the side as Vile took over in his search for the Zeo crystal. He expressed disdain for his father-in-law, who constantly put him down. Once Vile left after his army was defeated by the acquitting Rangers, Zedd was ecstatic and he resumed his attacks on Earth. Then, during a plan that saw the Rangers turned into kids, Lord Zedd destroyed all of their power coins, taking away their powers and their ability to morph. He also destroyed the command center, pretty much succeeding in all of his plans. However, before he could take advantage of his success, the evil Machine Empire arrived. When the Machine Empire arrived and attacked, Zedd and Rita were forced to retreat, taking Serpentera to the M51 galaxy. They soon returned, however, in a motorhome, plotting to overthrow King Mondo and destroy the Empire. The two forces clashed on several occasions, but neither really gained much ground. Zedd and Rita were mysteriously absent then during Power Rangers Turbo, and many fans have speculated that Rita and Zedd had regained control of the moon from the Machine Empire. Then the events of Forever Red suggested that Zedd at some point launched an attack on Earth with a significantly more powerful Serpent Era, only to be defeated once again by the Zeo Rangers. Disillusioned and convinced he would never defeat the Rangers, Zedd and Rita retreated for good. This of course is just a fan theory, though I do think it's quite likely anyway. A year later, Zedd and Rita attended Dark Spectre's conference on the Chimerian planet. Zedd toasts to Dark Spectre's capture of Zordon and takeover of the universe. He also unsuccessfully tries to attack Andros when he is caught spying. Then later, when Andros destroys Zordon's energy tube, the energy wave washed over all evil. Zedd was spared and transformed into a human being. His love for Rita seemed to remain as the two danced together in the remnants of their army before his purification. Zedd and Rita both had a son together, Thrax, who was sealed away some time before Countdown by the Solaris Knight during his rise to power 9 years later during the events of Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. Thrax mentions that he seeks to rebuild his parents' legacy. Disgusted by the fact that they were lost to goodness, it's assumed by fans that Thrax was conceived during Zedd and Rita's time away, either during or before Power Rangers Turbo. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more videos about your favorite superheroes are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one. Thank you all so much for watching. May the power protect you all.